No, it's not the sky that's falling. It's us that is rising up with the spirit. What's going on, y'all? My name's Sean Taylor, a journey on this trip called life, passing through, sharing some tips, tricks, and tools we can all use to help find clarity and gain direction in our lives. And in this video, we're talking about the process of distillation. We're in this home stretch of this alchemical process, this purification process, and this is where the spirit separates from the rot. This is where the spirit rises up and condenses into a more pure form. These last two steps are a bit easier to understand because we know this process in the real world. We apply that heat to that heap of dross, that heap of discarded ego, and we apply an internal fire through our tool of meditation to allow that spirit to separate out from that rot pile, to separate out from that discarded ego. And that spirit rises up and condenses into a more purified form. And much like how we see bottles that advertise triple or even 6 times distilled, the more we distill and go through this process, the purer and stronger our spirit becomes. The first time we might go through this distillation process, we only might acquire 60% of that spirit. But when we continue to put ourselves through that fire, through that tool of meditation, we evaluate these thoughts and we separate out that spirit, and it becomes more pure, it becomes stronger. And you'll see this play out in life, how it becomes easier to take these new actions. When I was first walking away from drinking, it was a little more difficult. People would tell me, oh yeah, you can have one. Like, what the hell? It's not gonna hurt anything. But now, when people offer me a drink, it's simple. It's like, no, I'll have a water instead. Because that spirit becomes more purified. More of that dross is separated out. We continue to burn away these limiting beliefs. It's like it's a pairing of a calcination process and that separation process. As we burn away this dross, this ego, our spirit separates and raises higher. And as that spirit separates, it reaches the top and it condenses into a more pure form. It jumps from that 60% pure spirit to 80, to 90, until we get to that pure essence and we obtain the true essence of who we are. And as a common thread that's been through these videos, more begets more. The more of your spirit that comes forward, well, the more of that spirit that comes forward and the stronger it becomes. And as we go through this purification process and that spirit becomes stronger, those ego draws, they're not able to get our hooks or their hooks into us. We're able to leave them behind and we're able to raise up. And as we purify ourselves and these hooks are no longer in us, this frees up energy for us to use elsewhere. Perhaps we find a new passion project. I know in my path, my Saturdays and Friday nights, they were no longer committed to drinking. They were committed to studying, learning something new, writing, learning how to play an instrument. I was not diverting my focus, my time, my energy into these superficial things where it was just getting wasted to get wasted. And it was not productive because it robbed me from that next day. And because my next day was not robbed, I was able to move forward into the steps that I wanted to take. I wasn't nursing that hangover anymore. I was moving forward in a refined direction. This is a process where our conscious and our subconscious become more in harmony. Our conscious thoughts get in tune with that spirit because it's cleared itself away of that static, that dross, those things that hold you down. And because of that, we become more an in tune being, an aligned being with our conscious and subconscious working together. They understand each other. It's getting in tune with that why of you may not be doing something anymore, or maybe why you are doing something now. It doesn't have to be just about the drinking. Perhaps you want to live a healthier lifestyle. Maybe you start eating healthier. You get in tune with that diet, and because you're feeling better, you're able to do more things. And because you're able to do more things, oh, the birds are talking today. And because you're able to do more things that are aligned with your own spirit, your true direction, your true direction and your true essence, more of your true self emerges forward. And as we repeat this distillation process, more and more of that purity emerges. We triple distill ourselves. We 6 times distill ourselves. And every time we distill ourselves, more and more of those ego fragments are removed and purified from us. This is really a purification process, because as our spirit rises up, we're leaving behind all those limiting beliefs that draw us, those things that no longer serve us. And we're not being held back, because those things are dense, they're heavy, and we feel lighter because we're no longer hanging on to those things and having those things hold us back. Because we're no longer being held back by these ego thoughts, these ego actions, it puts us back in that driver's seat, and it allows us to point into a direction that we wish to go. We get to choose a new direction instead of being taken for that ride of that ego, going along just through the motions of life. We take control and head towards a new destination, a new you. As that spirit of that new you rises up and it condenses into a more purified form, we bring that spirit back down through our next video, which will be covering the process of coagulation, where we take this purified essence and ground it back in, much like our step of conjunction, where we bring this purified essence and bring it all together, and we walk forward into this new life. We walk forward into a new direction. I'd like you to comment down below something you've been distilling on and separating yourself from, something that you've been working on purifying within yourself. Give this video a like if you got any great info from it, or if you got outside and got some fresh air today. And if you haven't already, give this channel a subscribe. Join on this process of transformation and transform yourself into the you that you want to be. I'm going to go out and finish this walk into the new direction that I'm choosing. As always, peace and much love, y'all. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.